Property crimes are often the result of opportunity. You can take action to help reduce crime by starting a Neighborhood Watch program. Neighborhood Watch serves as a guide for more eyes and ears in your neighborhood. Contact the Marana Police Department Community Resource Unit at 520-382-2055 for more information.
Are you over the age of 50 and looking for adventure in southern Arizona? Then look no further than the Town of Marana Senior Program, which offers monthly day trips to various destinations such as Tombstone, Apple Annie's, Wilcox, Queen Creek Olive Mill, Dolly Steamboat, and more. Join the adventure and meet new people while discovering everything our beautiful region has to offer. Learn more about upcoming trips by visiting maranaaz.gov/team senior.
Welcome to Real Talk with the Town, where I sit down with Marana staff to answer your burning questions about our beautiful community. My name is Terry Rozema, and I'm the town manager for the town, so let's get started. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Real Talk with the Town. My name is Terry, and I am your host, and today we're going to be talking about safety in the town of Marana, and who better to talk about safety in our community than our very own beloved police chief, Jeff Pridgett. Good morning, Chief. How are you?
Good morning, Terry. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Excellent. So appreciate you joining us for the episode here. And we're going to get into a lot of really great stuff as we're entering into the holidays. But before we do that, man, just want to do a little icebreaker with you and talk about how the first year as police chief has gone.
Yeah, it's been a pretty exciting year. As you know, with my promotion to or appointment to the chief of police, there was a lot of movement, upward movement. So a lot of promotional processes that happened this year. Very exciting. Our last piece of our leadership team was put into place in July with the last sergeant being promoted. And then ever since then, we've just been rocking and rolling.
I love it, man. I love it. So has it been everything that you expected? Has it been more challenging? Has it been more rewarding? I mean, what are kind of the things that you didn't anticipate that in this first year, you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming, but this is something I realized, or that's something I came to understand in this last year?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge for us is just getting our leadership team together and everybody being acclimated to their new roles. So that's been a challenge, but it's also been rewarding because it's given me the opportunity to coach and mentor a lot of these folks, as well as the other command staff. They've stepped up and they're even coaching and mentoring me as well. So, you know, it's I'd be lying if I said I wasn't stressful at times, but having a good team around you to help shore up your weaknesses and help you out has been tremendous. I'm very grateful for that team that we have over there. They're awesome.
Well, I appreciate you not lying to our listeners about how stressful the job of police chief is. Because when I was a police chief, I told everybody it was stressful. So if you came in here and said it was a breeze, I'd look like a loser or something. But hey, I love hearing how you talk about, the opportunity to mentor your folks. Yes. And that you in turn, I think this is the hallmark of a great leader, that you in turn are learning from them.
Yes.
Because that's humility. And one of the things I've truly always appreciated about you, Chief, is just, your humble heart and the way you go about business with your troops. So kudos to you and the whole team.
Appreciate
really.
that.
You got
Thank you.
Got a wonderful team over there that you've assembled. So let's get into and talk a little bit about, for our residents, because this is important. Safety is probably one of the most important things that people are concerned about when they live in a community, when they're choosing where to live and whether to continue to remain in a community, and that is how safe they feel. And you guys are coming up onto the holidays here, which are always a busy time and a time where criminals tend to take advantage of other people. So what is the Marana Police Department doing to ensure our residents and our shoppers, to ensure that they're safe?
Yeah, during the holiday season, we have an initiative, community initiative that we have. It's called Holiday Patrol. So what we do is we have extra staffing out on the streets, typically during the busier times from about noon up until 11 o'clock at night. And their job is just to solely drive around some of our residential areas to make sure that we're not having people stealing packages from porches. And then they also drive around our business district, Costco, Target, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, areas like that where you have a lot of shoppers out and about, and they drive through the parking lots just to have that presence there to prevent people from breaking into their to vehicles.
Right on. So when did that? Has it started yet? Is it going to start? I mean, what's kind of the time frame and how you guys deploy your resources for that?
We started that on the Black Friday. Typically, that's when you start seeing things ramp up because you have the Black Friday sales. Even though a lot of people still do shopping on the internet, but there's still a lot of people out and about during that Black Friday morning, up even until the evening. And then, of course, you have folks who buy things and then they end up returning them. So we pretty much stay out for the entire month. So leading even up to after Christmas, a few days after Christmas, we stay out.
Wow. So we're talking a full month of additional patrols, additional personnel. Do you guys deploy any kind of a command post anymore? Is that something you guys are still doing, or do you not utilize that?
No, we don't utilize the command post anymore.
Okay, right on. So let me ask you this, because this Black Friday weekend, right, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right after Thanksgiving. By the way, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. It was
awesome. So Black Friday weekend, a lot of shoppers out there. How did it go? I mean, we have many issues.
No, none that were reported to us. Our presence was out there. And also, I have to give credit to the Rangers as well. They're a force multiplier for us. We call them up and they come out and help us out. Also, our volunteers, the VIPs, they're out and about as well. So they help us out tremendously during this time frame when we have this holiday patrol. So
now explain for our listeners the difference.
Sure.
What are the Rangers and what are VIPs?
So the VIPs are typically they're retired folks who volunteer their services here at the PD. They drive around in marked vehicles, but it clearly says volunteer on the side of it. And it says Marana Police, so that way people can differentiate the two between an actual certified officer and then non-certified. And then you have the Rangers who are out and about. They're full uniform. They have the Rangers insignia on the side of their vehicles as well as uniforms, and they're out and about as well.
So the Rangers are not directly affiliated with the PD. They're just a partner?
That's correct. Yeah,
okay.
They're a regional partner of ours, yeah.
And the VIPs actually belong to you guys? I mean, not belong to you guys, but work directly with and for the PD.
That's correct.
They have nifty uniforms, too.
They're really nice.
Are you looking for more VIPs, Chief?
Always looking for more VIPs.
Always?
Yes,
Did you hear that? Folks, if you're out there and you need something to do, something productive, you want to be a part of something bigger than yourself, part of a really great team, you can get a hold of the Marana Police Department and become a volunteer in policing.
Yes.
Yeah, you have a nifty uniform driving around in a really cool car and tell the police officers, hey, come over here. There's something happening, right?
That's correct.
Eyes and ears.
That's it. Eyes and ears.
Right,
yes.
Right on.
Yep.
All right. So, Chief, I have to tell you that I keep my ear to the ground when it comes to the police department because there's a part of me that still misses it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I worked with, so many of you for so long and I miss that. So I keep my ear to the ground. I peek into some of the reports that are going on and the work that's happening with your folks. And I got to tell you, man, your folks are killing it out there.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that the people of this community need to hear a little bit about that. So I would like you, if you could, I know you're willing to do this because every dad loves bragging on their kids and every chief loves bragging on their cops.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
So, Chief, I want you to brag a little bit on your cops right now and tell our listeners some of the incredible things that your officers are doing to make sure that our residents are safe.
Yeah, sure. The one thing I admire about, our police department and the men and women that work here is we all come from different walks of life, right? But we have this thing here, it's called unity of purpose. And our purpose is to provide unparalleled service. And I can think of two cases recently that have happened, over a month ago, but this is something that constantly happens. But I think these two really give an example of the great work that the men and women do here on a constant basis. So the first one that comes to mind is we had a auto shop here in northern Marana, And during about a 2-week stretch, there were some vehicles in the parking lot that were being vandalized. And this shop owner was, very frustrated because the bill and the insurance claims started racking up. And of course, he has to be, accountable for that because it's on his property, right? Being the owner. So our guys, our DART squad, they're a community problems unit. They went over there, they talked to this shop owner. And what they found out is that he didn't have any surveillance up. So they went over there, they took the time to set up surveillance cameras for him that he purchased. And then we also deployed some of our own game cameras in that area. And unfortunately, the business got hit again. So then we ramped up our efforts. So one of the officers that's assigned to our DART squad went out there and sat in an unmarked vehicle. And they started his surveillance probably about 9:00 at night. And he sees an individual walking down the road here on Sandario Road, as a matter of fact, and looked suspicious to him. But, he was like fishing, he had the patience, didn't wait. Kept that reel out there, didn't reel it back in. So he's sitting in the parking lot and he sees the individual walking back about an hour later and he hears a pop. And that pop was eventually turned out to be a BB gun. So he ends up getting on the radio, the DART unit, calls another marked unit and says, "Hey, I see this individual. They're now walking on Sandario. Can you go make contact with them?" So our marked unit goes, makes contact with this individual. The officer assigned to the DART unit goes over there and they start questioning this individual. They do a search and they end up finding a BB gun on his person. So after questioning this person, he ends up actually being the one who was causing the vandalism at this business. And they made an arrest for criminal damage on that. I share that example because of all of the work that we put into that. It could have been very easy to just put the cameras up and just hoping that sometime that we would catch this individual. But to go that mile and put in that effort to resolve it was just exactly what we do here. We always go that extra mile when we're working our cases, whether it's a minor incident or it's a major incident.
Do you have a need for speed? Whether you want to improve your race time or just have fun, the Run Marana series has something for everyone. Choose your challenge and sign up for one of the 5 races held throughout the year. Visit maranaaz.gov/run to sign up. Your speed, your run, your town.
Don't let the heat of the moment catch you off guard. Northwest Fire District Public Education Team offers a range of programs including fire life safety community education, fire extinguisher training, car seat inspections, babysitting programs, senior safety talks, engine demonstrations, and station tours. Your well-being is our priority. For more information, visit nwfdaz.gov or call us at 520-887-1010. Together, we can create a safer and more informed community.
Have you heard? Marana has unforgettable festivals and events. From parades to fireworks, rodeo competitions to light shows, we'll show you a good time. Learn more about the Marana Signature Event Series by visiting maranaaz.gov/events.
And, so that one's a criminal damage call. Another one that stands out to mind.
Can I jump right in here for a minute?
Sure, yeah.
Because I think that's awesome. And I know that people think that that's what cops do every day. But I have to tell you, being in it for a long time, that's not what cops do every day. And that's not what that's what great organizations do.
Exactly.
And so impressed. Now DART is like your plainclothes surveillance group, right?
That's correct.
All right. And so they go out, they set up, they watch, they see this guy. Now, a lot of people would think, well, okay, it's not like a homicide suspect. It's not like a rape suspect. It's not a robbery suspect. But this is a big deal for a business owner in our community. And here's what I love about your approach and the approach of your officers. It was important to that business owner.
Yep.
And because it was important to that business owner, it was important to you guys.
Absolutely.
And I think that is the philosophy and the mentality amongst you and your group that really sets you apart.
Yes.
And I really want our residents to know that that's who they have in their police chief and their officers. And I know we got a whole bunch of stories.
Exactly.
We're going to focus on just a few of them. So give me another one.
Another example I can think of, and this is another business. It was a Target. And they had an individual who went in there, a suspect, and he shoplifted multiple packages of Legos. But one of the people that were shopping in there, another customer, saw this and went and reported it to their loss prevention. Loss prevention was able to follow this person out to the parking lot, got their license plate number. Our officer arrives on scene. A few minutes later, suspect is already gone on arrival. Mm-hmm. So the officer takes the license plate number, enters it into the system, comes back, registered to a vehicle in Coolidge, Arizona. So we also have some license plate readers that are strategically placed around the town of Marana that is another investigative tool for us to try to help to attempt to locate these suspects. So using the license plate reader and the information on that database, we were able to find out that the vehicle was traveling back up to Coolidge, Arizona. So this officer ends up calling Coolidge PD to respond over to the residents. They respond over there, and then
now help me out here, Chief. We're talking about a shoplifting.
A shoplifting, yes.
A shoplifting from Target.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
And we not only send an officer,
yes,
right, and make a report, but now we're tracking this guy down.
We're tracking him down. Yes. Yeah,
all right.
That's what we do.
All right. Finish the story, man, because it's got to end well.
Yeah. So Coolidge, they go over to the house after we contact them. They confirm that the vehicle is there and that the registered owner is indeed our suspect. So this officer reaches out to the suspect via telephone and just gives him the rundown and says, hey, we have multiple witnesses. We know it's your vehicle. If you come and meet me, then we'll issue you a citation. So about 2 days later, the suspect drives down from Coolidge and we make the arrest. So that's another good
What
example.
happened to the Legos? That's what everybody wants to know.
Yeah, unfortunately, Legos didn't get recovered.
They did not.
They did
All
not
right,
get
so
recovered.
he sold them on eBay or something.
He probably already sold eBay, OfferUp, Facebook, someplace like that. But
gave them away to his nephews for Christmas or something.
Christmas, yeah.
Yeah. They're wrapped under a tree right now. But yeah. So, I have to tell you, I know a lot of police departments that don't even send people to businesses for shopliftings anymore.
Yeah.
A property crime, it's covered by insurance, it's their loss prevention, it's whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And so to have a police department that cares enough, not only about, so you have two different things here. You have a small business, right, up here in North Marana,
correct.
That's being vandalized and it's costing this guy money.
Yes.
And you guys go the extra mile to figure this thing out and bring resolution and justice to the situation. Then you have a large corporation, Target, one of the largest, corporations certainly in America, perhaps in the world, I don't know, but big corporation, and they're losing Legos.
Yes.
And Marana PD says, that's not okay on our watch.
Not okay.
Yeah, we're going to track you down. Yeah. I don't care if you go to Coolidge. We don't care if you go to California. We're going to track you down.
Yep.
Yeah. So where does that mindset come from? I mean, what is behind that for you and for your folks?
I think for us, it's just the heart of a servant. The number one question that gets asked, I think, in every testing process is, why do you want to become a cop? Mm-hmm. You'll go out to fight crime, to serve the public. And I think that's just a perfect example of at the heart of what we do in our policing profession. And this is a culture that's been established in Marana. My 21 years of being here is, once the reputation that we've created is, you come in here and you commit a crime, no matter how big or how small it is, we're going to end up tracking you down and making arrest. And we have a reputation of that. People are surprised, with these little shoplifting calls or even like a major incident that we're showing up at their door and we're making an arrest. But that's the message that we want everybody to know out there, even the criminals too, is that, if you come into the town of Marana, you're going to be tracked down and you're going to be arrested. But that's been rooted in our culture for over 2 decades now.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And criminals know that.
They know it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're put on notice.
That's part of the reason, perhaps, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong on this, but that's part of the reason, perhaps, that our crime rate overall is very low.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for those who do end up coming here, either because they're you haven't been informed yet, or they're just dumb, or they want a challenge, I don't know, you guys are going after them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, if they want to challenge us, we're going to meet it.
Right,
we're always going to win that battle. That's
All
for
right.
Sure.
I love it, Chief.
Yeah.
So other things, any other stories or any other things that you want to share with our listeners in terms of things that you're doing to ensure that this community remains one of the safest in all of Arizona?
Yeah, I think even our interdiction, we have a few officers here that are really good at drug interdiction. You know, it's no secret that, you know, there is an opioid crisis, and that's been going on for a while now with the fentanyl pills. And we've had a couple of traffic stops that where we found multiple, they call them blues, but they're fentanyl pills. And, you know, we had one a few weeks ago where there was a traffic stop, officers make a stop, and they start talking to the driver and passenger, and they see some blues in plain view.
Oh,
and
I read about this one.
Yeah. So they ended up arresting those folks, and it turned into a search warrant on a residence, and the rest was history. So
Wasn't it something like 50,000 pills or something?
It ended up being 10,000.
10,000.
They ended up taking off the road.
Exaggerating a little bit. But
Yeah, exaggerating a little bit, but still.
10,000 fentanyl pills. Think about that.
10,000.
Every one of those pills represents a possible death for somebody.
Absolutely.
But,
Yeah.
you know, potential 10,000 deaths right there. I mean, that's staggering.
Yeah. And, you know, one of the things, too, I think why we're so, you know, relentless in tracking down these shoplifters, whether it's cosmetics or the Legos, like I told you about, is because there's that nexus where they're stealing these items to go and support their habit. So that's another way of trying to combat that, you know, so that's why we're so
and
hard
in
on
actually
that.
arresting them, quite
Yes.
frankly, you're doing them a great service.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Because you're taking away from them an opportunity to go out and buy one of those blue pills and possibly overdose and end up dying from it. So, I read about that fentanyl bust that you guys had, and it was just a patrol cop out there, right? That was doing
that's
that.
it. Yeah.
He was just aware of his beat, aware of his surroundings,
Yeah.
knowing what's going on, talking to the people in the area, figuring things out, paying attention, making a good, solid traffic stop, great observations, and then, you know, all within the confines of the law, getting a search warrant, going back, and, man, recovering 10,000 plus fentanyl pills.
Yes.
Amazing police work.
Yeah. Great. Phenomenal work.
Yeah. So when you're hiring people to do this work for our community, what are some of the things that you talk certainly about the servant's heart and, you know, a desire to, fight crime, suppress evil, if you will.
Yeah.
So what other things are you specifically looking for in your cops?
You know, I'm looking for a person who has a great personality and character. You know, the one thing I always tell them is don't be so robotic. You know, our community, they've always had this expectation to where they can have police contact and talk to them like they're a human. You know, it doesn't always have to be about, you know, enforcing laws or anything like that. It just be about, you know, what's the PD doing to help the community as well, you know. So those are the things that we always stress to the people coming in is that you have to have a great personality. Your body language has to be welcoming. You can't be so robotic and kind of shut off to where people don't want to come and talk to you, because that's really how, you know, we create this great partnership with our community, is them not feeling like if they call us, it's a burden on us, right? So that's the most important thing that we're looking for. Well, not the most, but one of the important things that we're looking for when we hire these folks on.
Outstanding. So you have a program this time of year that you certainly want to remind people of, because people go out and they shop and they take their packages and they go out and they put them in their cars and they put them in their back seat and, you know, go back into a different store and shop some more. What's the message for our folks out there that are, how can they help you, right, and help themselves during this holiday season?
Yeah, the number one thing we tell people, obviously lock your vehicles, but the items that are in plain sight, you know, purses, packages, anything like that, put them in your trunk. You know, you don't want to make yourself what we call a soft target, because when criminals see those things out on your seats, they break the windows and, you know, they break the door handles to get into the vehicle, punching locks, etc. So the biggest thing is to place those important items inside the trunk.
All right. So lock it or lose it.
Exactly. Lock it or lose it.
That's a great program that the Marana Police Department has. Lock it or lose it. You heard it right here from the chief. Put stuff in your trunk, people.
Yeah.
Right? Help us out.
Yep.
All right. So, Chief, anything else you want to share with our listeners before we close out this episode of Real Talk?
No, just we appreciate the partnership that we have with our community. And, like I always say, if you call a cop, you get a cop. May not be right away, because if we have some priority calls that we're working, of course, we have to address those issues. But whether it's showing up in person or contacting you by phone, we will make an effort to reach out to you and resolve whatever issue you have going on. So appreciate it.
All right. Well, Chief, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. And to our listeners, be sure to send in your questions. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time. Submit your questions by visiting maranaaz.gov/realtalk, and we'll answer them right here. To receive notifications for new releases, remember to hit subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Also, remember to follow the town on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date on current news and events.